Welcome back to the Future, back in time. It's Marty's turn, and Marty is up here at Hill Valley High. He's got lots to do. We do have the love tracker at maximum, and we have the DeLorean pretty much where it needs to be. However, we have to maintain that for 4 more turns to try and win the game. And of course, now we're into doubles, so everything's going to happen twice. The movement and all the trouble cards, everything's going to be nasty. So let's go to the turn tracker, and we'll get going with Marty's turn. And we are getting ever closer to the end of the game, and we are moving for Marty's turn. We're moving here. Now we have to do a love meter check twice. The good thing is, as you can see right here, our love meter is at maximum, so it means we are not going to lose any more of our picture. Excellent. So we're not going to lose the game that way as far as I can see, because even if we blow it by here, we still have 4 picture pieces left. We're all good to go there. However, we do have 2 movement cards to pull. But the first thing we're going to do, though, on the first pull of the movement cards, we're going to use the mind-reading helmet that Marty has. On your turn, when you draw a movement card, draw 2, choose 1, discard the other. So we're going to exhaust that. We're going to do that for the first go-round. So we will have to pull another one. So 1, 2. This does not count as the 2 cards showing here for movement. But we do get to choose, at least on this one, which one we want to use. We have Biff standing up now at George's house. So we have moved Lorraine to Lorraine's house. Biff activates once. And of course we want to keep Biff away from the DeLorean because we have that trouble card out there. If he gets to the DeLorean, he shoves it back 2 spaces. And we have moved George counterclockwise 3 spaces, which would put George right at George's house where Biff is, and Biff would activate once. I wonder if we should do that. I think that might be the better option, I think. So let's go to the board and we'll decide which one to do. Alright, this might sound kind of silly, but we're going to go with this one. We're going to move George counterclockwise 3 spaces. So George is here, he's going to go 1, 2, 3. So I guess George is having a little bit of a confrontation with Biff, and Biff smacks him around a little bit or something. So Biff's going to activate once. That's going to knock 1 off the love tracker, which I think we can deal with, I hope. So let's go love tracker. We're going to have to knock 1 off of there. And the reason I kind of want to do that is I don't want Biff moving this way towards Lorraine and George, because again, if he gets in a spot with the DeLorean, it's going to go backwards 2 spaces every time he enters a space with the DeLorean, which is not what we want. I think, anyway, we'll see what happens. Let's go move the love tracker back 1. Yep, just when we thought it was a walk in the park, our love tracker goes back 1. They're still in love, but not quite as much. That was movement 1. We still have to do another movement card. Of course, Marty can't use the helmet again. He can only use it once. So we have to live with whatever this movement card is, and this could be ugly. And we have moved Lorraine 3 spaces clockwise. Wow, and then Biff activates only once. Okay, that's okay. So Biff's going to activate once, so he's going to knock another love off the love tracker. We're still in the love zone. Got lucky there, but now we have to go move Lorraine 3 spaces clockwise. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Alright, this is not the greatest. So Lorraine's going to go clockwise 3 spaces. She's going to go 1, 2, 3. She's up to the school parking lot. We've got everybody everywhere. Now, the other cool thing that Marty has Biff's homework. So Marty can actually take Biff and stick him where Marty is. So he can make Biff come to Marty because Marty's got his homework. So we want to, I think, try and get George and Lorraine back together, maybe do some love meter checking, and then we're going to get Marty as far away as possible from George and Lorraine and move Biff over there using Biff's homework. Marty also has the electric guitar, which lets him flip over 2 tokens back to their active side. So he's got lots he can do. We just have to try to keep things maintained. So let's hope we can do it. All right, we're going to go to Marty's area, and we're going to have him start flipping tokens to take actions for his turn. All right, I think what we're going to be doing this turn is we're going to be trying to do love challenges, and we're going to do a lot of movement. So Marty's going to be moving a lot. So what we're going to do with him, and we're going to maybe try and knock Biff out. We'll see what happens. We're going to use this speed die for movement. So Marty's going to move up to 3 spaces. Let's get to the board and get him moving. Alright, well, Marty's only going to move one space. He's going to move here with Lorraine. The reason he's doing that, you will see. So he's going to move there with Lorraine, and then he's going to invoke Biff's homework. Exhaust this item. Move Biff to your location. This card may not be used in town square, obviously. So we're going to exhaust Biff's homework, and we are going to drag Biff right over to the school parking lot. And the reason I'm doing that is, again, we want to have Biff as far away from Lorraine and George as possible. So that was kind of him using the card, using his 3 movement to get over with Lorraine in the parking lot. And let's get back to his board, and we're going to do some more moving, I think. Lots of jockeying for position here today. So we're going to take, what are we going to take? We're going to take this, oh boy, no, we're going to take this token for 3 movement. Now remember, we have the electric guitar. We can flip 2 tokens back over when we need to, so we'll think about that. But we're going to use that for 3 movement right now. Let's get back to the board. Alright, so we're going to take Lorraine with us. Now, let's keep in mind, Marty's special ability is once per turn you can move Lorraine 2 spaces towards you, which will come in handy here in a minute. But right now we're going to move 3 spaces. We're taking Lorraine with us. 1, 2, 3. And now we are back at George's house with both Lorraine and George there. And Biff now is 1, 2, 3 spaces away from George and Lorraine, but that's not good enough yet, I don't think. Let's go back to Marty's board. We could do a love challenge right now, try and kick the love meter back up, but are we going to do that or not? Let me think about it. We'll go to Marty's play area and start looking at his tokens. Alright, so what we're going to do with Marty is we're going to flip over a token for 3 movement. Back to the board we go for movement. And right now, I think it's all about positioning. So we're going to take Lorraine with us. We're going to move 1, 2, and take George with us 3. So now we're all at Lou's Cafe. We actually have Jennifer here. We have Doc here as well as Marty. And we have Lorraine and George. Now I think it's time for a love checkup. Yeah, I think it's time for a love check. We can assist with Jennifer and with Doc if we want. And let's go ahead and see what we're going to do. We're going to flip some tokens. Alright, it's time for a love challenge. I think we want to get that meter back to the top. So we're going to flip over 1 for Marty, and we are going to have, I think we're going to have Doc assisting. Alright, so Doc's going to assist. He also has a love token, so we're going to flip that over. It's going to give us the second love die. Let's get to the board and hope we don't see any Biffs. We're going to roll up the love challenge. Alright, we're all at Lou's Cafe. Can Doc, Jennifer, and Marty get Lorraine and George to fall a little bit more in love? They're already in love, but we need some more successes. And oh my god! Oh yeah! There was the triple combo here. Absolutely nailed it. So of course we're going to get 3 movement on the love tracker, and let's go ahead and do that. Alright, we're going to be able to move the love tracker 3 spaces, 1, 2, and we hit the wall. You can't go any further than that. They are completely in love, which is exactly what we want. Marty still has lots he can do. He can still flip over 2 tokens. Let's go back to his player mat and do that. Alright, so Marty's got the electric guitar. He will use the electric guitar to flip over any 2 tokens, and so he's going to flip over this one, and it doesn't really matter because I'm going to be using him for basically for movement, and this one. Now we could actually try moving the DeLorean. So there we go. We've used the electric guitar. We flipped over 2 tokens. Now we're going to use a token for 3 movement. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this. And let's get Marty moving on the board. Alright, so George, Lorraine, and Doc, and Jennifer having this lovely little reunion at Lou's Cafe, and Marty says, you know what, I think I'm going to go and see if I can punch the lights out of out of Biff. We have a reroll all all of the Biff die token we can use. We also might want to try and do this, but I think we want to try and knock Biff out first. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. We've used a token for movement. So Marty's now here with Biff. Let's go back to his player mat, and I think he's going to try a little a little fight activity. Alright, so Marty's going to flip over, of course, his double token, which will give him the 2 courage dice to roll. There we go. Let's get back to the board and see if we can knock Biff's lights out. Now remember, we do have the re-roll all Biff's, so if we end up getting a Biff, we can at least re-roll it. I think we're going to have success. Who knows? I might just roll all Biff's and totally mess things up. Let's go back to the board and roll up the courage dice. Alright, well Marty's up here with Biff, and he can do it. Now he can re-roll Biff's, let's not forget that. He might not have to. Let's hope if we get 4, we can knock him out, put 3 stun tokens on him. That would be spectacular, but no guarantee. And look at this. We get 2 Biff's. Oh my god. So yes, we are invoking the re-roll all Biff's. We're going to use that power token right now. Holy man, that was awful. Alright. Let's hope we can get a little bit better success on the second roll. And we get absolute sort of garbage. So basically, we knock him down once and he gets back up. So that was basically a stalemate. Not of much use at all. Wow! Okay, that sucked. Let's go back to Marty's player board area and have him do something else. Alright, not happy with that. We are going to flip this token over. We're going to use it as a courage die. We're just gonna hope for the best. We're going to go back. We're going to do another fight challenge. Real dust up here going to the school parking lot, and we're going to see what we get. Let's hope we don't get a Biff, but we might get lucky. I don't know. Let's find out. Alright, let's try this again, and we get 1 success, and you know what? We're not re-rolling it. We can, but we don't want to. That's just going to knock Biff down a little bit, which is better than nothing at all. And now it is time for Marty to use his last token. Alright, Marty's got 1 token remaining. He's going to use it for movement, so he's going to get out of dodge and move somewhere. So let's find out where he's going to go. Alright, so after all of that, Marty's going to move 1, 2, 3 and join everyone back at Lou's Cafe. Alright, back we go now to Marty's player board area. We're going to flip over all his tokens, and that's going to be basically the end of his turn for today. Alright, so we've got Marty's area. Of course, everything's flipped over. So what we need to do now, we're going to flip all our tokens over. That's basically the last turn for Marty for the game, because we only have 3 turns left. It's going to be Doc, Jennifer, and Einstein. Einstein's going to end us off for the whole game. Alright, let's flip his tokens back over. And we've got everything flipped back over for Marty. It's the end of his turn. Let's go back to the main board and wrap up our episode for today. Alright, I think we have 3 turns left, but of course now the last 3 turns are going to be 2 movement cards a turn. That could get dangerous. Now, we do have Marty sitting here. I think Lou's Cafe is going to be a main central point. Marty's got the reroll all Biff's, so we want anything happening here. At least Marty can assist with that token, which would be awesome. Oh boy, I don't know. Up next is going to be Doc, of course. We do have Biff at least knocked out a little bit. Even if he gets 4 movements, he's only going to stand up and go 1, 2, 3. He won't even make it to Lou's Cafe for Doc Brown's turn. We have the DeLorean in place. We have the love meter at the maximum. 3 turns left, getting tense. I don't know. It depends on how well I roll or don't roll, and it depends how the movement cards activate Biff. And we're going to find out if we are going to get Marty, Jennifer, and Einstein back to the future or not. So thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, subscriptions, likes. Really helps out my channel. I appreciate it. Join me tomorrow for the continuation of Back to the Future Back in Time, where Doc Brown is going to be taking his turn.